Welcome to my everyday winter makeup tutorial for 2022. I wanted to make sure that this was one of my first Vlogmas videos just because this look really incorporates a lot of winter makeup trends that I've been loving in just a more wearable, everyday, kind of daytime way. So I'm starting with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is really going to make sure that the foundation and complexion products really adhere to the skin. It's got a pretty sticky, tacky consistency, but it just works amazingly well. Then for foundation, I'm actually going to mix two. I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand. It's kind of like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, just to make this foundation a bit more luminous. And then I'm going in and mixing it with the Givenchy Prism Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation for a little bit more just kind of added coverage. I'm blending that in with my Beauty Blender dupe, the Paw beauty blenders from Amazon. They're truly amazing. They're so soft and squishy, and they come in a pack of 6, I believe. They're great. I will have them linked down below 100%. I talk about them all the time, and they are so worth it. Really making sure to just press that foundation into the skin so that it looks as skin-like as possible. And then moving on to concealer. For my face, I'm using the Huda Beauty concealer. I've been loving this stuff. I bought it during the Sephora VIB sale, and it has quickly become one of my favorite concealers. It is a bit more on the matte side, but it still looks very natural, and it does not crease. It does not move all day. To get the most amount of coverage out of this, I'm going in with a concealer brush from the Sephora collection rather than a beauty blender or beauty sponge, just to make sure that, like I said, I'm getting kind of the desired amount of coverage and it doesn't thin out from the sponge. As you can see, I'm really just taking my time, truly blending everything out and making it look nice and diffused. I didn't want to speed up any clips in this tutorial just because I wanted to really show you guys my particular technique and how I go in using all the products on my skin without anything being fast forward. For under eye concealer, I'm using the LYS Brightening Concealer. This stuff is fantastic. Super full coverage, but very hydrating at the same time. It doesn't really feel like you're wearing a lot of makeup, and it just gives that really nice bright under eye effect. Now this I am going in and blending with that same beauty sponge just because I do like to kind of diffuse it and thin it out a bit so that it looks more natural underneath the eyes. And then for powder, I'm going in with my Say Beauty Translucent Setting Powder. I love this stuff because it sets everything in place without overly mattifying it or making the skin look too flat. It's kind of like a no powder powder, if that makes sense. And during the winter time, my skin is definitely a bit more dry, so I don't really need as much powder as I would, let's say, during the spring or summer. Making sure to primarily really focus it underneath the eyes so that the concealer sets really nicely. And then we're jumping straight into blush, skipping bronzer. I know, it's crazy, but I've really been enjoying the kind of super pink, rosy, I'm cold cheek look. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm going in with this Patrick Ta blush duo, and I'm actually starting with the powder blush and sweeping this pretty far into the center of my face and actually going a little bit over the nose as well, and then diffusing it slightly with the beauty sponge. Then I'm going in with the cream next, and I'm just focusing this on the back end of my cheekbones to really give that amplified pink look. I feel like the best way to kind of understand what I'm doing is simply by watching, but I promise you it looks so good and so naturally flushed. I'm obsessed. Then I'm going in with the Benefit Tickle highlighter. This is one of my favorites. It's a beautiful light pink, so not only does it really fit the blush quite well, but it's just one of my favorites on the skin. Yes, it's pink, but it's still not over the top, and it just hits the light beautifully. I love it. After priming my eyes, I'm going in with the Makeup by Mario Brow Gel, and we're starting to do the brows, obviously. I feel like this brow gel is super underrated. I don't hear enough people talking about it. It is my favorite clear brow gel, hands down. It sets them in place. You can get a super nice and fluffy look, or you can do something a bit more laminated. The choice is really up to you. It lasts all day. It doesn't flake. It doesn't get like crusty and weird in the brows. I truly just love it. And the brush is double-sided, so you can really make sure that you're kind of brushing them up nicely and then kind of pressing them down. So after that, I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil and just lightly filling in the slightly sparser areas of the brows, which is primarily for me towards the front. I don't really do anything from like the arch back, so like the arch to the tail, I don't really touch. I'm primarily just focusing it right at the front, as you can see. I've been loving like the diffused glitter look for the winter time, so I'm using the Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Shadow in the shade Kitten Karma, and I'm just lightly sweeping this on the lid and then diffusing it with my finger until it dries. Now it does dry a little bit on the quicker side, so I like to work fast with this product, but then as you can see, it's just this beautiful like scattered light look, and it's super wearable. It's not like an over-the-top New Year's Eve glitter look. It's very much like for the daytime, although you can absolutely use this liquid shadow for a more dramatic look, but by really diffusing it with my fingers, you get that really nice everyday kind of effect. Now, as you can already tell, this makeup look features a lot of my like current just favorite products in general, but also for the winter. But for today, I actually wanted to try out a new mascara just because it was sitting on top of like my new makeup to try bin. I got it in my BoxyCharm recently. This is from Complex Culture, and it's a clean formula, which means it's great for sensitive eyes, and it's going to be really gentle on the lashes. Maybe it's because I had just opened this, so the formula was still pretty like fresh and a little wet, but I actually found this a little difficult to work with, and I wasn't obsessed with the way it made my lashes look. I mean, it was fine. I'm just not sure I'm gonna reach for it again. But then I'm gonna set everything with the Tarte Stay Spray setting spray. I think that's what it's called, and then we're moving on to lips. Starting with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, I am very lightly outlining my lips. I'm going in with a super gentle hand and then smudging it out with my finger. And then to continue with that really natural lip look, I'm going in with the NARS Tinted Lip Balm in the shade Fast Lane. I have been obsessed with this stuff. If you follow me on TikTok, you know. It's just like the prettiest, most natural flush to the lips. And then you are done. That is my completed everyday winter makeup tutorial. I really hope that you all enjoyed this. Maybe you'll choose to recreate it, or maybe it just gave you some product inspo. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon in my next Vlogmas video.